Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded and broadcast live on Penfield TV's Government Access Channel, which includes Spectrum 1303, online at penfieldtv.org, and social media platforms Facebook and YouTube via Town of Penfield Television. Following the proceedings, the video recording will be available on the town's website and on streaming devices Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Just search for Penfield TV in your device's app store, and it is free. If anybody wishes to address the board tonight on any public hearing matter, there's going to be several opportunities for folks to do that in several different ways. One way is that people that aren't here will be able to call this number, and then I'll be looking at this computer screen every once in a while to see if there's anybody in line that wants to give a comment via the telephone. Another way, also I'll be checking in here, is to see if anybody has sent in an electronic comment or question via the town's website that I mentioned before. And then, of course, anybody here that wants to come up and speak in public will be given the chance to do that, too. Some folks have already sent in comments. I think we have some comments via email. After the agenda gets out, people do that occasionally as well. Letters or, well, not so much letters anymore, but emails we do get. So we like to say every month that we think the town does a good job of letting people in the community know what's on our agenda so that they're more fully informed of their right to come in or comment in one of these other ways. We appreciate doing that, and we think it makes our job easier because we get more information upon which to base our decision. And how does a town do that? Well, several different ways. First of all, it posts the agenda electronically and here at the town hall. It sends out postcards. We've all probably received those. If you live within a certain, or own property within a certain number of feet of the subject property, you're going to get a postcard that says, hey, this matter's up for consideration. If you have any questions about it, give a call and you can decide whether or not to come in or comment in some other manner. And then another visual site that we've all seen is the town requires the applicant to post the sign on the property saying this property is under review. So all those methods we think work well and gets folks in here to help us do our job. Tonight's meeting is we're going to start with our work session where we'll tend to any tabled matters. I don't think there are any. Oh yeah, there is one, right?
Yes, yes.
I believe so.
The Wellsbrook Lane matter listed on the agenda as a tabled matter. So we have that, and then take care of the minutes from the last meeting that we've had. And then what we'll do with tonight's application, we'll invite the applicant to come up to these tables, give us name and address for the record. And then typically what will happen is the board member that's been assigned as lead on a particular application will walk the applicant through the process, because everybody submitted pretty thorough written applications. We've reviewed them all. We just find that it's more efficient to walk the applicant, if you will, through rather than have the applicant start from repeating stuff that we've heard. So that's not meant to cut off anybody or limit anybody's time to speak. Everyone will be given ample opportunity to do that. We just think that it's more efficient, and frankly, people seem to be more comfortable with that as well. So having said that, I would ask everyone to rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And I'm going to keep the microphone for a little while because I want to do something now that, frankly, I neglected to do in November because we had a long time and excellent town employee retire recently. Andy Sevegas retired a couple of weeks ago, I think, effective. So in November, I really wasn't thinking, oh, Andy's retiring, we know. But we didn't have a December meeting, and then he retired. So I asked him to come back tonight, and so he could hear our words of thanks and praise for him. But he's not here. So they just had his picture up there. If you guys can put it back up, I'd appreciate that. But that's the type of guy Andy is. Andy's not here tonight because he doesn't give a hoot. He's not here tonight because he's a humble guy. Anyone that knew him and worked with him knows that he doesn't like the limelight. He doesn't want to get up and say a few words. That's who Andy is. But I've had the pleasure of working with him for, oh my goodness, 15 years probably now. And I can tell you, I've been doing this for a long time. Some people may think too long. But in any event, I've worked with a lot of people in this town. And the citizens of this town are actually, I think, blessed to have such good, hardworking employees in this town hall over the years. And Andy was a fine example of that. He was dedicated to the town and its citizens, dedicated to his co-workers, came here every meeting, prepared. We put him on the spot a number of times, asking him questions during the meeting, and he always smiled. That was always his first response, to smile, but if he didn't have the answer right away, he got it for us, and we were able to work with it. Smart guy, too, knew the town code, and I don't know, in like I said, the 15 or whatever number of years it was, I might have heard him complain once, and he was like half kidding even in that sense. So as confident as we are that Shannon's going to do a great job, Andy's going to be missed very much, and he played a lot of roles here. Christine was nice enough to give me some information about all the roles and committees and code work that he did here. There's a long, long list. But I just wanted to say personally, thank you, Andy, for everything you did. It's been a pleasure. And now open it up to my fellow board members or you guys if you want to say anything about Andy.
I think the one thing I'll say is that the number of residents that came in and always said, I called and Andy was so helpful. Like a lot of our meetings, I think, started that way. The town staff was great. The town staff was great. And I think that was usually a one-on-one. Like that's usually referring to, either you're talking to Christine or you're talking to Andy. It was probably one of those two people. I think that was kind of a fairly standard response that we got. And I think a lot of people appreciated that, and the fact that, he knew the code inside and out. And, you said, you always ask him, well, what do you think? Well, the code says this. And, he never tried to skew his opinions across anything here, which is always great. He let the board decide what they needed to decide, and he goes, here's what it is. And I think a lot of people felt that he tried to provide them solutions for this is what you need to do, this is how you could do it. And for when residents came there, I think it made a big difference for how they approached the board when they came here, because they knew that they were trying to do something that he was kind of setting them up to help, to hopefully succeed to come to the meeting. So I think that made a big difference for the residents that don't really know anything about town code, except for someone said, oh, I have to get a permit for this, now what? And I think he made that comfortable for people.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar, so I'll just say I hope he enjoys retirement. He certainly earned it.
Good point. Anybody else?
I didn't work with Andy nearly as long as Dan, because I'm far younger. But, in the few years that I had a chance to work with Andy, he really helped this board in particular of, guiding new people on the board, me in particular, and I really will miss Andy and wish him the best in retirement.
I just wish him best in retirement. It was great working with him.
All right. Anything?
Thanks, Andy. Go Bills.
That's true, he is a Bills fan. Okay, well, great, thank you for your patience, folks, I appreciate that. May we have the first application, please? Oh, no, we got to do the table one, right? Yeah. Wellsbrook
minutes.
was,
And minutes, yep.
oh, yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, I'm getting a little misty here. So approval of the minutes from the November meeting.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes as written, and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And I'm sorry, now the tabled application, that was really just on for, I think, to him to report that he was going to basically withdraw it and allow the homeowners association ultimately to care for it.
I think that's what was discussed and finalized. I haven't heard any follow-up. Christine, did you hear anything?
I have not heard anything.
Okay, so no follow-up was heard. I didn't reach out for follow-up, but I will
Great.
tomorrow.
Okay, so
Double
I'll
check
make
on
a
that.
motion to table this for the same reason. I think it's, and honestly, if he just sends in a letter and even an email saying that's what his intent is, then
Yep,
we'll just,
Would we
That'll
want him to
suffice.
withdraw it then?
yeah, that's what I think he said he was going to do.
yes.
Okay,
I'll second your motion.
all right, we have a motion to table and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's go to the public hearing and start with the first application, please.
Okay. Kong Win, 2696 Atlantic Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14526, requests approval for an area variance under Section 250-14.3 of the code to allow a second garage, whereas one garage is permitted under Section 250-5.1-D2 of the code at 2696 Atlantic Avenue. The property is currently or formerly owned by John Wynn and is zoned R120, SBL number 124.05-1-11, application number 26Z0001.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
If we could have your names and addresses for the record, please.
Yep. My name's Yang Wen. Address is 2696 Atlantic Avenue.
Okay,
Andrew Wynn, same address.
thank you. Okay.
Thanks so much for the application. So you're looking to put on an addition, and as part of the addition, you're having the second garage is what you're asking for?
So the existing building already has 2 garages on there, and we're doing some renovations now, but the cost to knock it down and make it a single garage is significant. So I'm asking to have the 2 garages because it's already pre-existing.
So it is pre-existing. When was the second garage added?
So right now, there's currently a 2-car garage,
Okay.
and so it's further away from their living spaces right now. And so with my parents getting to of age, we feel it would be more handicap accessible if it was closer to where they're living.
Okay. So there's currently a garage that is in one area.
Correct.
You're looking to add on the second garage?
Correct.
Okay. And why not just add on, actually, a clarifying question for you, Shannon. If they were to just expand, right, the current garage, they wouldn't need to be here, correct?
Correct, yeah. So the code specifies that you can only have one garage, attached or detached. So as soon as you have 2 separate garages that do not have an internal connection point, that's what triggers the need for the variance.
And you had mentioned in your application, the need for that is because of where the location of the master bedroom is versus, can you just describe that a little bit more?
Andrew?
So right now, the current garage, the dwelling right now is a mother-in-law apartment. And where the current garage is part of the auxiliary living dwelling area. And so right now, by us putting the new garage would be adjacent to where their master bedroom is. So right now, that current garage is not handicap accessible, and then the way it's laid out, it is not conductive for that. So what we're asking is to build an additional one on the far side, and then in the hopes that as long as their health is within reason, then we wouldn't continue further with the second one or the existing one and simply just knock it down. But if their health continues to deteriorate, then hopefully one of us would have the opportunity to go there, live there, and help them out.
Okay, so the second garage is for really the in-law area, if that's needed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, is it being used as a garage, or is it being used as a living area?
It's being used as a garage.
Okay.
Not a living space.
Okay. So, okay. The new garage that you're building, is that all part of the same kind of building materials? Is it going to look all in concert with the existing home?
Yes, we will make sure that will look the same.
Have you talked to any of the other neighbors in the area? Do they know that you're looking to add this?
The adjacent neighbor, he's got a lot of woods in that area, so if you look on the screen to the right-hand side, that's the closest neighbor. And in fact, if anything, this new garage would provide kind of a structure that would help detract away from the erosion that's occurring on that side, along with the retaining wall that we have submitted and have put in place.
I didn't really have many other comments or questions.
All right, any other questions from the board?
No, sir.
No.
I don't see any folks on the phone or anyone that has submitted an electronic comment. Anyone in the audience care to speak about this application? Okay, then let's move to its consideration.
I'm going to first do seeker.
Yeah,
Okay. So I would make a motion that this is a type 2 action pursuant to seeker, requiring no further action.
I'll second.
all right, we have a motion under seeker to declare it a type 2 action and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And now on the merits?
I would make a motion to approve the request as is. You know, it's not going to produce any undesirable change to the character of the neighborhood. The building materials will all be in concert with the rest of the home. You could add on to the existing garage, and then you wouldn't need to be here, but based on the layout and what you're looking to accomplish for the functionality of the home, I understand the request. You know, is it substantial? I guess it's substantial because you can't technically have it, so it's asking for 100% a variance, but, you know, there isn't really an adverse impact to the environment or the neighborhood. And it is self-created, but as most everybody here is here because these are self-created requests. So with all of that, though, I would make the motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve. We got a second?
I'll second.
Okay, a motion to approve for the reasons stated and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, ready for the next one?
I am, yeah.
All right.
Trying to figure out this computer a little bit, but yeah.
All right. Silver Maple Dental, 1768 Creek Street, Rochester, New York, 14625. Requests approval for a special permit for signage under Section 250-10.3-A of the code to allow a freestanding sign with less setback than permitted under Section 250-10.12-D of the code at 1768 Creek Street. Property is currently or formerly owned by Silver Maple Dental PLLC and is zoned BN-R, SBL number 123.07-2-10.12, application number 26Z0002.
Hi, may we have your names, all three of your names?
I'm Allison Cohen, this is Raymond, he's joining us tonight, it's his first meeting. Sorry.
I'm Caitlin Hoffman, I'm Allison's partner.
Okay. All right, so you folks had a dental practice sort of around the corner.
Yep, that's where we
Still
currently
there.
are.
Yeah, currently are, still have it, all right,
Yep.
very good. You're building a building just, I guess, north of Fast Track on Creek Street. You've gone through the planning process and approval. I don't know that you had to come to this board before for part
I've
of
been here.
You've been here,
Yeah, I've been here.
but not for this project.
Yeah, but not for this project. So this is your first time here, but the building's not complete, but they're still working on it.
It's close.
It's very
coming.
close.
25 days.
We're
Yeah,
moving the
okay.
second week of February.
All right.
Not
So
that we're
you're-
counting.
You're here tonight because you want to take the freestanding sign that you have on Browncroft or Atlantic, whatever it is there, and move it around the corner to your new location.
Correct.
The issue is, there's nothing wrong with the sign itself, but it's the location, which is right to the maximum where it can be. So you need a variance of, I guess, 100% variance. 20 feet, the setback requirement is, and you want to put it at 0 feet right on the property line. So I guess I would ask you, why do you need it to be in that location?
Our understanding is that per code, it needs to be 20 feet beyond, from the property line. Our property line is 21 feet from the white line in the road, so that's essentially 41 feet from the road, which is pretty far for patients to actually see it and know where we're located. That's why we're asking to be moved up, ideally to our property line, which is still 20 to 21 feet from the white line in the road, a la the spirit of the code.
Okay. In deciding where you wanted it to be, did you enlist the help of any professional or?
Yeah, so we had worked with the vital signs with Amy, and she submitted, hopefully, she's on the email chains, I think hopefully the proper documentation, but she did work with Andy with us, and I have to say thank you to Andy, because he was so helpful on the phone. So.
Okay. So, I mean, a simple question, why does it have to be right on that line? Why can't it be 3 feet back, 6 feet back? It's a pretty large variance. I understand signs need to be effective, or else what good are they? And to be effective, they need to be seen. So going 20 feet back, going to be tough. People might, especially if they're not used to it, drive
Somewhere they're
right
gonna
by,
drive
and then they're
past.
driving on Creek Street, and they got to turn around. I get all that. But again, it's a pretty big variance. So just, why does it have to be that large a variance?
I think we were just hoping that the closer it was for patients to see it, the more there'd be like less risk for accidents, because it is a little bit quick turn coming off the, off of Creek, or not off Creek, off of Browncroft.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of patients from different age groups, and some are a little bit older, and I don't think they're going to see it further back. Like, it's kind of a wetlands area further back, so there's going to end up being growth there, so I think it's going to get hidden in that area.
Okay. Can you tell, I don't know if there's a drawing that shows how far from the road it actually is.
They staked it, and I thought they sent the picture in of where it's staked. They were supposed to have sent that.
Let me check.
Because I know there's the Water Authority
Yeah, and they did give.
easement as well.
What? Yeah, Andy did drive past it as well once it was staked. He said he checked it out, which I don't know if they're still there with the snow. I actually don't remember seeing it driving there today. I wasn't.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so that's.
21 feet, does that say?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And can you describe for us how, if at all, it's going to be lit?
Hopefully with just one light on either side. And I honestly don't know if it's going to be just a solar thing on it or if it'll just be electrical. I'm not sure if there's electrical there right now, to be honest.
Okay, so that'll be the power. Do you know, will it be lit throughout the night? Will it turn off at a certain hour? Can you set a timer on it?
We can set a timer on it. I'm sure that'd be.
Open to negotiation
Yeah.
on that. We do have to go in after hours for emergencies at times.
Sure.
So in an ideal world, we would have it lit, but not enough to pollute the surrounding area or bother the neighbors, and kind of find a happy medium.
Yeah, I mean, that's the issue.
Right.
Is, you don't want anything so bright that it's
Right.
Yeah, we definitely don't want
bothering
that.
Yeah, no.
folks.
Just enough to see.
And there's an email here from planning, one of the town planners, about submission of a plan for exterior lighting. I don't think it's the same lighting I'm talking about. Are you aware of this?
Nope.
No.
Okay. But do you know that you've complied with all the requirements of the planning board regarding exterior lighting on the project?
To our knowledge,
That's everything Milestone has told us that they've done, so hopefully they have. I think that they
Yeah.
were in charge of that, but
Yeah, I want to, before we move forward with
Yeah.
anything, want to make sure that there's compliance on everything else. I don't know, Shannon, if you have anything.
Yeah, it was my understanding that the planning department, just because we received a comment about lighting, so the planning department checked what was submitted, and obviously the construction is not done, so we can't fully confirm. But I think as far as they could, they just sent what was discussed and what was approved. And I don't know if there was anything about the signage lighting that was discussed at the planning board level. Do you guys remember any discussion on the
I don't honestly
signage?
remember any discussion.
Right, and I think
planning
that that's what was brought up, is that the lighting was discussed for the actual property, but not for the signage.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and Doug Sangster mentions that, the pole light on the entry driveway is there a pole light on the entry? Or the driveway itself?
I drive there a lot right now, and I'm not paying attention to this. I don't know if there's one
Okay.
there.
All right, well, I guess,
The street light he's looking at on the picture, is that what you mean by the pole light? No.
no, I'm sure we'll hear about that in a minute, but to the extent that this board approves a variance of any degree, I'm sure it'll be a requirement that you comply with any of the requirements of the planning board resolution
Of course.
approval as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. All right. I guess I'll ask if anybody else has any questions on this.
My only question regarding the lighting specific was, what are your normal business hours?
7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., Monday through Thursday.
Okay, and so the only time where it would be dark, potentially out, would be during these winter hours from like 7 to 8.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned emergencies, is that?
Yeah, if a patient needs something done, and we try to respond to any patients who have anything that's, pain related or infection related. So if there's an off hour call, we'll go in for them.
How often is there a call that it's in a time period where it would be dark out?
depends on the time of year.
And what is the latest you would go in?
I don't think we'd ever go in beyond maybe like 10
9
o'clock. It
o'clock,
depends. I mean,
yeah.
if somebody, we are on call 24/7, and that is a service that we make sure our patients know about. So I think the latest I've ever gone in was probably like 11, and that was years ago.
Okay, so it's pretty uncommon that it would be much later than 6 or 7 p.m.
So, yeah.
So
Uncommon, not impossible.
You mentioned
Right.
earlier that you would be able to, you'd be open to a timer or something like that. It seems to me that if you just agreed to not turn the sign on at night unless you had an emergency, because I'm assuming you're going to get there first before the patient does, you
Yeah.
get there, click a little switch inside, turn the light on for whatever period of time the patient needs, that would eliminate that light being on other than when you absolutely needed it. Just a compromise to consider, that's all.
Yeah, that's fair. Understood. Okay. Any other board questions?
No.
We have another distinguished retired member from the town standing in the doorway there that we haven't seen in a while.
I didn't realize that your calendar times have changed.
Yes.
I was going by the old times of 6:30 and 7.
So are you just here to observe there, Harold, or?
I'm just here to say hello and say goodbye.
Okay, all right. Well, hello and goodbye, and Happy New Year to you. Good seeing you. Yeah.
Take care, Harold.
This is Andy's predecessor. Okay, nobody on the phone that I see or electronically, but I know we have someone that wants to speak. Sandra Gasserlich, a
Yes.
neighbor, right?
Yes, thank you. I'm going to give you this as a courtesy
Thank
and
you.
for transparency, please.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
How is everybody?
Good.
Butterfingers today, okay?
No worries, thank you.
You've all received my comment via email.
Thank you.
Yeah,
There's a copy.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Sandra Gasserlich, 1763 Creek Street. I live directly across from the new construction. I've been to every board meeting that this project has come in front of. I don't have an objection to the actual signage. I just would like to, because my driveway and their driveway are directly across from one another, I would like the board to consider the variance because of the zero variance that they're asking for. I understand they need a sign. I don't have a problem with them moving the sign. I would like to see if we could possibly come up with a plan so that it's not directly at the drive aisle, which is directly across from my driveway, because it is very close to the road. My concern is there's a slight curve to the road, and there is, that sign is going to sit directly next to their drive aisle, which if you're coming down that street, there's a little bit of a hill that, with the retaining pond that's right there, that kind of shields it. I would like to see the sign more toward the south, so where the current sign for the town is that says that that this property is under review, I would like to see their sign placed somewhere in that vicinity, more toward the center of the property versus toward the drive aisle. I also have concerns about signage, the signage lighting. I don't want it to be on all night.
Oh, totally understand.
The project has been extremely disruptive to me and my family. And you guys know that. We speak. When I reached out to the contractor and asked the contractor about the signage, they said that their plan hadn't changed. I've reviewed the plans extensively. I do not remember there being an electric plan for the sign. So any lighting for the sign, I would like to have reviewed, because I am across the street. I'm very close to this property. The other concern, which you're going to find out it was me, I called the town. I called the town about the pole lighting in the drive aisle. We had agreed to some shielding. The shielding has not been installed. Those lights are on all night long.
I apologize. I did not know that, so I'm really sorry.
They're on all night long.
I was not aware.
And they shine directly into my yard. My bedroom faces the street, which is very concerning for me. I already have trouble sleeping. Thanks, perimenopause. But I don't need any excuse not to have to, have, additional light, sound, and I just want the board to be a little bit more stringent when it comes to variances. Like I said, I don't oppose you bringing your sign over. I don't oppose the setback necessarily. That location, yes. I think it's too close to the drive aisle. I think if people are coming down, I've been there for 20-something years. I see people come whipping around because of that blind curve. If it was more toward the south, where the current sign is for the town, I think that would be more of an ideal location. Plus, then my bushes would kind of hide it if it did have lighting on it. I do understand the need. So I'm trying to be a good neighbor. I would just ask that there be some concessions here. Because you don't have to live there. I do, unfortunately. And so I'm not opposing the sign. I'm just asking to reconsider the location. I was surprised when I saw the stakes in the ground of where exactly the sign was, and I was pretty shocked, to be honest with you.
So I don't want to.
No, go ahead.
So, do you know the location that your neighbor's talking about? Okay, how,
I actually don't. I'm trying to picture this
The
out.
sign, you're talking about the sign, the property under review sign?
Yes.
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 I will be lying if I told you I like measured it or
Yeah.
looked at it that carefully.
Yeah.
Our goal is very simple, which is just to have a sign with sufficient lighting for
Yep.
patients to find it without disrupting the neighbors.
Yeah.
If we can make that
If you could
happen,
move it away
we're
from
happy.
my driveway, that would be great.
As long as it's close enough to our driveway that
Yes.
patients can actually like find the building, I think that's great.
So let me suggest this then. I appreciate that comment. I'll make a motion to table it. If you will, the three of you get together, talk about it, and I would suggest, what I was looking for here was something from, professional sign person that said, this is why it needs to go in this area. Because the lettering's this big, and cars typically go this many miles an hour, so the lettering, in other words, for safety reasons, aesthetic reasons, et cetera, identification reasons, this is the spot it can go.
I did talk to Andy and to Amy beforehand, I had emails going back and forth asking if they needed anything else for this meeting.
Right.
And we were told nothing else needs to be made, which is fine. But now we're in this window where we're literally opening in 25 days and there's no sign there. So we're in this crunch time of feeling a little more pressure. And to be honest, when Alice and I were looking at this, we did not realize our sign was put 40 feet off the road until like 2 months ago. No one notified us. It wasn't like, we didn't see it in the plans that way. So we were kind of caught off guard in this process as well. So I apologize that it's so late in the game, but I feel a little added pressure that there's patients who are going to be driving right past it because they're already not sure where they're moving to. So I feel a little.
Is there a way to get that sign in the location that you're proposing, on a temporary basis until our next meeting? I don't know if you can ask your contractor that or not.
I don't think they can do it temporary because it's going to fall over. It's concrete. It would need to be
No?
on concrete.
Okay. All right.
I have a suggestion.
Go ahead.
So being that you need the sign so people know where the location is, but you also want to ensure they know where the driveway is, I just went to the vet today, and I noticed the vet has a big sign similar to that offset, but has two smaller signs by the driveway, that basically say, here's where you enter and exit. Maybe that would solve the problem, where they could move the sign where she's asking
I would be
them to.
open to that.
And then you would have the signs, little signs there. That would require maybe a variance for an extra sign. I'm just tossing it out there. It might solve everybody's problem.
Just on a temporary basis. Hopefully, it wouldn't need anything, no. So, I mean, that's a good idea, and it sounds like it's doable. So, and again, to me, if the sign expert comes in and says, safety is honestly, for me, paramount when it comes to sign locations. And to make sure that it's not, people pulling out of your location, the sign's not going to block their safe entry and
And
exit
that's one
as well.
of the points that I wanted to make as well, is because it's so close to the street. Now, when you're pulling out, because you've got that blind curve, now you've got to contend with fast-track traffic. The street, it backs up in front of my home as far as where the light is. So I'm concerned because it's so close to the street that it's going to block sight lines for people coming around that corner as well.
Yeah, so maybe that's something that we could ask the town engineer to look into it, the proposed location, and how much would moving it back 3 feet, 5 feet. Engineer may say there's no safety concerns in the proposed location, but it'd be nice to have that part of the record.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So whatever, I guess, would be needed to make it the temporary fix, speak with Shannon about that. Again, I don't see any.
So what are you proposing? To
Me?
temporarily,
No, I'm proposing to table it. Let them work on a temporary solution because our meeting is not for another month.
right.
But also get together and see if they can come to a location that suits their needs, that you can live with, or if you can't work it out, come back to us and we'll make a decision, which is our job. Again, you need a sign. Where is it going to go that can be safe and it can serve its purpose? That's where I'm coming from.
Understand.
All right? So, anybody else? I'm sorry, are you done?
No, I'm done.
Anybody else want to speak about it? Okay, come on up.
Hi, my name is Laura Payne-Borsey. I live at 8 Parham Drive. I just want to thank you for tabling it, because you need a sign. No one wants to have you put a sign and then have to have it moved, but we all understand that that intersection, it's not squared up. You know, there's a very unique angle to which, you know, Creek Street intersects, and that's a very congested area, and we've got fast track. And so I, as a resident, would appreciate the engineers having an opportunity to say, here's where it should go for vehicular safety here, because lines of sight are my biggest concern. And particularly, you noted in your application, you have a lot of elderly customers. I don't want an elderly customer not to be able to see around the sign trying to turn left.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Anyone else in the audience? By the way, we haven't tabled it yet. I'm going to make a motion, but there are 4 other voters. So I will make a motion to table for the reasons stated.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
I'll second.
We do have a second. Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
See you next month.
Sounds good.
All right. Next application, please.
Emma Netrar, 75 Devonshire Drive, Penfield, New York, 14526, requests approval for an area variance under Section 250-14.3 of the code to allow an addition with less setback than permitted under Section 250-5.1-F1 of the code at 75 Devonshire Drive. The property is currently or formerly owned by Emma Netrar and is zoned R115. SBL number 139.06-2-10, application number 26Z0003.
Okay, may we have your names and addresses,
Good
please?
evening. I'm Todd Jones with Todd Jones Custom Construction, and I'll be the contractor for the project if it's approved. And this is Emma Lippa, the homeowner.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And let's see. So looking at your application, currently your home sits, I guess, it's pre-existing non-conforming because you already, no matter what you did to the front edge of that house, you would require some kind of variance. Whether you put a second floor on, you would still need a variance because it's already over the lot line, is the easy way to say it. So I think you're 9.3 feet away from the line, and you're supposed to be 10 feet away from the line. On your proposed plans, looks like you're adding a walk-in closet to the backside, so you want to make it a little bit bigger for that space for when you do the addition going down the rest of the way, which pushes you an additional 3.2 feet closer to the property line from that. And so for that, you're here for a variance. I guess a lot of times we say, what are other alternatives were there? And I guess the first one is, well, could you go up and to make it bigger as opposed to going sideways? But I kind of covered that already by saying you still need a variance even if you go up. So you're kind of stuck in a little bit of a spot where no matter what you do on that side of the house, you're here. And then looking at the plans, probably layout-wise, your contractor probably said and the architect said, this size fits better than if you just added, if you kept it the same, you don't gain anything for what the cost of it is in terms of the return for it, and I get that. I guess talk a little bit about if there were any other considerations for less of a variance, and why that wouldn't have worked for me.
I think part of it is it's money driven, right? To take that and go to the second story kind of takes the project into a spot that just isn't really conceivable for the property itself, as well as just financially, does that really make sense? Mm-hmm. So I think money was a factor in that. And right now that the old garage space is living space, and it's awkward. It's not.
It wasn't made for living space, right?
It's very narrow. It's a single-car garage, so when you're thinking...
In that, with their young family, they're going to, that's going to become the master bedroom the long way. Mm-hmm. So by gaining that extra space, it makes it, makes it conceivable.
Sure. And let's see. Did I see anything else on here that I want to say? There's a couple things I noted. Character of the neighborhood, a lot of ranch homes already. So in a sense, you're staying within the character more so by keeping it a single story as opposed to going a second story in that space as well. I didn't see anything else that stuck out that I had questions on, though. Your application was very thorough.
All right, any other questions from the board?
I just wanted to note for the record, I am related to the applicant. The only other comment that I would have as well is, did you ask your neighbors? Have you talked to your neighbors about the addition?
Yes, so Wendy Carrier is the neighbor that basically this is kind of encroaching on her space. We have angel neighbors there. So she wrote a letter with just kind of saying that we reviewed it. We sat down with her with the blueprints and she completely approves. Our backyard neighbors are also angels as well and wrote a letter to say that they're okay with the plan, even though it's really affect them. But yeah, so everybody, this is my grandmother's home, so it makes me emotional. But so everybody's very kind and wants us to stay, and so it's very important to us.
And Laura, I think that beyond being related, you still believe you still believe you can be impartial.
And I can be impartial, thank you.
Yes, Laura can be tough. She tells it like this.
Yeah, there's no financial interest or anything along those lines here. So those will be made part of the record. Anyone in the audience care to speak about this application? Okay, well, let's move to the consideration.
Okay, I'll move this type 2 action pursuant to seeker, requiring no further review.
I'll second.
All right, we have a seeker motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on the merits?
And then the merits, I will move to approve the variance. As I said, it's 3.2 feet closer. The house already is non-conforming where it sits right now, is from being 9.3 feet from the property line. Alternatives of going a second story up, I think one would change the character of the neighborhood more so than an addition to the rear. And financially, in the way the layout works, that little extra space is needed going that way. At being only 3.2 feet, I don't think it's substantial compared to other variances that we've given. I think people are trying to stay in the neighborhood because I think we've had similar applications of this where people have put additions on their smaller homes saying, you know, we want to stay here, we like this area. So we understand that. It is self-created as most applications are, to the extent that the new part is requires a variance, even though the house already is out of code for the or pre-existing. No adverse impacts were identified, and I think that's everything. So I'll move to approve.
All right, I'll second that. So we have a motion to approve for the reasons stated, and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Good evening.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Appreciate it.
Next application, please.
All right. Blooming Bunch Incorporated, 2150 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road, Fairport, New York, 14450. Requests approval for a conditional use under Section 250-13.3 of the code to allow the operation of a smoothie cafe at 2150 Fairport 9 Mile Point Road. The property is currently or formerly owned by Penfield Park, LLC, and is zoned BN-R/TFOD. SBL number 140.01-2-70.123, application number 26Z-0004.
All right, may we have your name and address, please?
Mohammed Akram, I'm here for 2150 Fairport 9 Mile Road.
Okay.
Great, fantastic. Well, thank you for a very thorough application. All the details were there. So in essence, you're taking over a space that was previously held by, I think, a mattress store, and you will be opening up a smoothie bar? Is that right?
Yes, a smoothie cafe, yes.
Gotcha. Couple questions. So obviously that's permitted use under there as long as this conditional use is provided to you. Will you be having any outdoor space on it? Will it be all indoor, all outdoor?
All indoors.
Gotcha. Any external lighting, music?
No external lightings, just signage.
Gotcha. I mean, honestly, I don't have any other questions because it's a permitted use and the application was thorough.
It's a very smooth application.
It's a very, yes, absolutely.
The ingress, egress is already done, everything's already.
Yeah, so it's, yeah, because it's an existing space and it's a permitted use, yeah. So I have no additional questions unless someone on the board does.
Anybody on the board? No? No phone calls, no electronic comments? Anyone in the audience care to speak about this? No? Okay, let's go to the seeker.
I would state this is an unlisted action pursuant to seeker and provide a negative declaration.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a seeker motion to declare unlisted action and then additionally declare a negative declaration, and we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And on the merits?
I would move to approve this conditional use. It's permitted under the section code, and I just believe it's good for the community to have the space filled with something, and I'm looking forward to a smoothie bar personally, so.
I will second it. Motion to approve in a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
When do you plan to open?
Hopefully by end of May.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
quick.
Cool.
Thank you.
Next application, please.
All right. Bruce Stenglin, 29 White Hill Drive, Rochester, New York, 14625. Request approval for an area variance under Section 250-14.3 of the code to allow a lean-to with less setback than permitted under Section 250-5.1-F1 of the code at 29 White Hill Drive. This property is currently or formerly owned by Bruce Stenglin and is zoned R120. SBL number 123.06-1-32, application number 26Z-0005.
All right, may we have your names and address, please?
Bruce Stengline, 29 White Hill Drive.
Jordan Flansburgh, 37 White Hill Drive. Not many of us left.
No, not many.
My next door neighbor.
Yep, directly next to each other.
Okay.
All right, good evening. So you built a lean-to connected to your home that's 1 foot from the property line when it was supposed to be 10 feet, correct?
I think it's a little farther. I think it's 5 feet from the property line.
We went out and measured based on a couple of survey maps that we were able to find, and it was 1 foot.
Well, you say that, but I believe there was a little bit of difference there because all the property lines that you were looking at were all older.
We found one from your neighbor that was able to find the distance from their house to the property line, because you're right, your old ones were telling us a different story.
Okay.
But we found a newer one from your neighbor, your next door neighbor, and that one showed us that you're only 1 foot.
And this being my neighbor? From
It
his
was,
survey?
hold on, I can tell you. Let me find it.
Interesting,
That was.
because that would be the only one.
Got that fence right there, too.
I know, well,
Yeah,
I thought the telephone pole was the lines what I was,
that's what I thought.
which
too.
is,
And frankly, it's a pretty significant difference.
Yeah, 1 foot and 5 feet is a big difference.
yeah, I agree.
So it must be number 37, because that's the line that is shared, right?
Yeah, to me,
Okay.
it's not encroaching on my property at all. He still has, a good amount of fence on his
Okay.
side, and then, yeah, I just thought it was the telephone pole.
Yeah, that's what I was believed to be too. That's why the fence that I have that's
Yeah,
there is
so,
on this
so
side.
so here's, I mean, from my perspective, I think that there's frankly, a gigantic difference between 5 feet and 1 feet. And I think that frankly is going to play a role in my decision, or my recommendation to the board. Because if you came in here and it was 1 feet and it was already built, I personally probably would have an issue with it, because it's first of all, it's made from wood, there's safety concerns. If it wasn't built and you came in and asked for a 1 foot variance, especially given how close the houses in this area are together, I probably would have a concern with that. I think my concern would be eased if it's 5 feet. So do you think that this is something that you could get a surveyor to come out and give a new survey showing the actual lot lines to show where they are? Because right now we're hearing two different things. We're hearing 5 feet, and we're hearing there's a good amount of space between the fence and the lean-to.
Yeah.
And we're hearing 1 feet. But none of these surveys that I'm seeing are.
Yeah, for reference, one is from 1971, and the other one is from 1984.
Yeah, I was going to say, none of them are from this century.
Okay, so you never had a survey when you purchased the house?
No.
You just went with, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that'd be interesting. I mean.
So do you think that a survey is something that you'd be willing to get?
If need be, yes.
Yeah, I personally think that it would make a big difference to this board for you to get a survey.
Well, and I agree, and if you don't mind, I'd say if we grant a variance and it's wrong,
right?
Because
Yeah,
we're
that's the other
going on inadequate information, when you go to sell the house, it's going to be a problem.
Correct. That's a good point too.
So it has cost you a few bucks. Although you can get a survey of just one line. You don't have to do the whole property. That's up to you. But in the long run, it's a smart thing to do anyway, because you're going to need a variance, whether it's
5 feet or 1 feet.
Correct.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you go to sell, the lawyer for the buyer is going to say, show me the authorization that you have to be that close to the property line. And if it's 1 foot and it's supposed to be 5 feet or vice versa, then you're going to have to do it all over again.
So the survey, you would say I should be done on my property, or should I pay for my neighbors to be done? Or it doesn't matter?
I mean, that's going to be your call.
Okay.
I personally am interested in how far away the lean-to is from your property line.
Yeah.
That's what I personally care about. But whether or not there's boundary line issues fence issues between the two of you to clean up, that's something else that you guys probably want to discuss.
Okay.
Just from a procedural and a couple extra questions, you're using this as storage, correct? It looks
For
like
a boat, correct.
Is it year-round?
Yes, it is year-round.
Why didn't you come to the town prior to building? Because whether it's 5 feet or 1 feet, you still need a variance.
So I do fishing charters for a living, and I take the Amish out. And they threw at me that they could make this lumber, and I could help them build it and take them fishing on not that boat, another boat that I run on Lake Ontario. And that's how that all came about. And they said, it's not attached to the house. We're going to put it on slabs. You don't need to go get a permit, is what they said. I was like, okay.
So it's not in the ground?
It's not in the ground.
It's on slabs?
It's not even on a slab. It's on blocks. And it's not attached to the house.
It still needs a permit.
Okay.
Okay, well, and that's what I was told by whoever. But when they, I'm clueless when it comes to that.
Sure. Okay, so are you in agreement to table it to get a survey to sort this out?
Yeah, apparently I'm going to have to, absolutely. You betcha. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, let's just see if there's anybody else. Any other questions for the board? For now, in any event, there's no calls or no electronic submissions. Doesn't look like anyone in the audience, but I'll ask, anyone in the audience care to speak? Do you care to speak about this more than you have?
It doesn't bother me, so.
You're in favor of it?
Yeah, I'm in favor of this.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good, well-crafted design. I don't think it,
And that's important. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't think it's a detriment to the neighborhood?
No, not at all.
values
Not
or
at all.
anything
And
like
it's on my side, our side, so.
Right, okay, great. All right, then.
I make a motion to table this?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to table for the reasons stated, and we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Boy, we're creating the agenda for next month already.
Well, there's only one, maybe two on, so it's.
Yeah, oh, that's good, and a lot of these are simple.
So.
There's a mystery on it.
In hindsight, I get a survey and then come back, present it to the town, come back for another.
I would provide to the town prior to the meeting so that we have it to review prior to
Yeah,
coming.
I would definitely do that.
Yep, and then we'll make sure that you're on the agenda, just because if we need to make sure that you got it in time, basically, so we know if you're going to be on the February agenda in time, or if you need to push out to March, based on how quickly you can get the survey.
When is the, yeah, right, based on how quickly. When is
Yes.
the deadline for the next?
So it's tabled, so basically, as long as you can get the information to us, like, I don't know, a week in advance, so everyone has time to review it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and frankly, unlike some of the other ones we tabled, your structure's already there. So while you want to get this over, you know, like they want it, they're signed at the dental office, but the sign's
Yeah.
not there yet.
No, I want to get it over. I'll
Yeah.
make some calls tomorrow.
So call tomorrow, yeah, because I know getting surveyors, it's not quick.
How does the property line change, though, over the years? I mean, you got one saying 5 feet and then one saying 1
More
feet.
accurate.
More accurate, so they just,
Technology
okay.
is GPS now. It's
Yeah.
pinpointed to the,
Okay,
to the end.
yeah.
So,
Interesting, yeah, yeah.
and, you
Especially
know, use
considering-
telephone poles and monuments like that, what surveyors do as well, but the telephone pole might not be where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because my actual fence line is like 2 feet inside that telephone pole, so that's
Yeah.
what gave me the 5 feet
Yeah.
in my mind, but whatever.
Common sense.
They used to also use tape maps,
Tape
they
maps.
called them, back in the 70s and 80s, so
Right.
they were not as exacting as a surveyor.
It makes sense.
And February 19th is the next meeting for February
February 19th.
19th.
I think we voted.
Did we vote on the tabling motion?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember
Yes,
saying
you did.
that.
Wow. Yeah, okay. The record says we did, so.
Okay, so we're all set. We'll see you hopefully next
Take care.
month.
Well,
Dan, that's the first time,
good,
man.
thank you.
But everybody's saying something different.
Everybody you didn't know.
Everybody
It
said
wasn't
something
just
different.
me. Yeah. Wow,
At the same
but
time,
thank
she
you.
said no,
Thank you.
yes, and he said no.
All right, next application, please.
Okay. Tucker Velopek, 1105 Ridgeway Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14615. Request approval for area variances under Section 250-14.3 of the code to allow an accessory storage building greater in size than the principal building on the site under Section 250-2.2 of the code with a height taller than permitted under Section 250-5.1-F 12C of the code at 1864 Harris Road. The property is currently or formerly owned by Anthony J. Pilato and is zoned RA2, SBL number 125.02-1-11, application number 26Z-0006.
Okay, may we have your name and address, please?
Hello, I'm Tucker Velopek, and I'm with Landtech, and we're at 1105 Ridgeway Avenue, Rochester, New York.
Okay.
Excellent, thank you. So what we're seeing tonight is you are here because of a, I'll call it a storage barn or accessory structure that's proposed to be larger than the home. And since town code allows accessory structures, but stipulates that it can't be larger than the primary structure.
Yes.
So in our case, this is going to be larger than 2,000 square feet, but it sits on, I think, 24 and a half acres-ish. So in one hand, town code says you can have a accessory structure that could be up to, I guess, 12,000 feet because of that,
Yes.
12,000 square feet because of the size of the
Size, yep.
property. But then another part of the code says you just need to have a variance now because it's now larger than the house. So the smaller the house you have, the larger the variance you would need, or, you know, you'd have to kind of go backwards. So if you had a 10,000 square foot house, you wouldn't be here except for maybe the height requirements because of the size of it. I guess talk a little bit about the need for something larger than 2,000 square feet. Just to kind of clarify a little bit, I realize it's rural agriculture too, which basically is, to support farming and that kind of, so it's not like it's out of character to have barns out there. And it's a large parcel, it's wooded, so you really can't see it from the road very well. Tell a little bit about the size and what the requirements are for that and why that large.
Yeah, so my client, he has an extensive car collection, and he's looking to store his cars on his own property instead of elsewhere. That's basically the main reason for the building being the size it is.
Okay, all right. Valid reason, because storing cars is not cheap elsewhere.
No.
Okay. let me think of what else I had on here. For the most part, it's a really, really thorough application. You covered most of the points on there very well. I guess one question I have in terms of the area, are there other barns that you guys had looked at that are of similar size?
Yeah, there's some close by. They're like on the other side of the road, but I'm assuming they're not for storage. I'm assuming they're more for
agriculture, but they're
use.
not. But it's part of the character.
But it's part of the character, yes.
Okay.
On those same lines, have you talked to your neighbors, or has the owner talked to their neighbors about building this barn?
He has not said anything about talking to the neighbors, so I'm not sure if he has or not.
Is there any reason that it has to be 28 feet, that you couldn't lower the overall height?
I believe that he has, I'm not exactly sure because I'm not an architect, but that's what the plans he gave us, and I'm assuming it's more part of the gable roof or the triangular part of the roof.
The width of you have to have a 4 pitch to drain, you basically have to have so high, or else you have to make it really long, or you have to, so it's either really, really long and then you have a really long garage, or you try to square it off a little more, but then you have longer roof line. But you need that 4 pitch for snow and rain to sheet off of it.
In the color of the pole barn or the accessory building, will it match the current residence? Is it going to be?
It's going to be sheet metal, but I'm assuming it'll be something similar to what the house is and the existing garage already on property.
And I think as part of the application too, I saw on there that there's 3 existing sheds that would all be removed as well, which would bring the property further into compliance?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to.
No, please go ahead.
There's a couple of, I wouldn't say concerns, but it's not mine, but I would look to table this one as well, and I'll tell you why. First one is I would like some info on prior applications where if we have any. So, other barns of that size, it'd be great. But also, I'm kind of, so whatever you can find, Shannon.
Okay.
And a disparity between an accessory building and the home. How old is the home, by the way? Do you know how long it's been there?
I'm not sure the age of the home.
So if you could come back, if we do table it, I don't want to be presumptuous, but figure that as well. But one thing I'm sort of scratching my head about is, Andres has already said it. You have one code section that allows you 12,000 square feet or whatever it is, huge.
Yeah.
Accessory building. Then you have another code section that applies that says, but it can't, dwarf the
dominate
the main residence, and it's like, we don't get a lot of these, but let's say it wasn't 6,000 square feet, but it was even 3,000. You'd be here, and 3,000 isn't, we've granted a lot of those size barns, but it's like, is a variance, the way to handle this, or could we use this to sort of come up with some kind of recommendation? I don't know. So Michael, I'd be asking you to sort of chime in on, maybe I'm being a little bit too strict with my review of these things, and it just seems to me that they're fighting each other, and maybe I'm.
Yeah, I had that feeling too. First, I completely ignored that part because I was just going off the percentage of land.
Yeah, but which changed how long ago? It really wasn't that long ago that changed, right? 6 years ago, maybe?
If that, maybe.
Right.
It might be more recent.
So that's what I'm wondering, whether we can use this as an example to say, hey, maybe this, whatever the other code is called, I said dwarfing, but.
Dominate. And it's in the definitional section.
Yeah. So again, maybe we should take a look at that.
Sounds like a statutory construction.
And the tax records say 1970 for the house.
Wow.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay. All right. So it's been there a while, and again, Shannon, if you can give us any information on that, because it is a, just like the first application, 100% variance request. It's no issue with the sign, no issue with the building. I'm sure it's going to look beautiful and nice and all that. But it would be nice to have a little bit more info on, how many cars does he have?
Okay.
And if he's got 6,000 square feet, is he going to use every inch of it?
He
Or
did.
does he want to save half of it for when he gets more cars?
It looked like the
God bless him.
drawings had all the little cars spots laid out on
Right.
in terms of.
He did send me a picture of his current
Right.
space right now, if you guys want to look at that as well. I believe I.
No, just if, I have, I don't know, 20 cars, and the 20 cars I've got a place in like this, so 6,000 square feet I need.
Yeah, I believe it's around 20 cars when I counted myself.
Wow. All right. So, again, I'm not stealing your thunder here.
One other just quick question. You mentioned the three buildings that are currently on the property. Were those given variances to have those?
Not that I,
Okay.
Not by the, at least not by us, I don't think.
right, not in recent searches would find. The
Okay.
property is pretty heavily wooded, so it would have been pretty easily done without anyone knowing.
Got it.
I'll say it that way.
But at the same time, they're trying to bring it into compliance.
Yeah.
anyway, it's
Yes,
better,
yep, absolutely.
All right, I don't see anybody on the phone or electronically, and anyone in the audience care to speak about this? No? Okay.
Okay. Is it Paige?
Page is good.
Paige, you want to say anything?
You're getting the head shake.
Okay, to get some more information then, I will move to table.
Second.
All right, and I think you got all the reasons to table?
Yep.
One of them is Shannon's.
And then,
You can talk about that, a little
Okay.
bit more info about how much space he's going to actually
Okay.
use, and then for Michael
Council,
to sort of calm me down a little bit. All right, anything else? All right, a motion to table in a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great,
thank you.
thank you. Wow, 7:13. All right, we are finished with tonight's agenda. We'll stand adjourned until the next meeting. Thank you all very much.